Okay, so here's the situation. I'm in a bathroom here. Um, there's a wall switch that turns on this vanity light. It's not installed yet, but it turns on the vanity light and this pot light over the shower slash bathtub at the same time. Okay, now the customer wants another light. They want a ceiling light approximately where the green tape is. So I want to do this with, causing the least amount of damage or cutting drywall, whatever. So it definitely helps knowing how the frame is built in a house. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to find exactly where that roof truss is. And what I want to do is measure approximately, so this wall right over here, and then this wall right over here. I'm going to measure approximately how far they are from the box that I'm going to cut out. This way and then this way. And I'm going to go up in the attic, find the top plates of this frame, right? Because when they built the wall, you've got the studs going this way, and then you've got a top plate going this way. So I'm going to measure it out, find that, drill into this wall. I'm going to take off this switch, take the box out, put a double box, because I've already got power at this switch, so that I can use that power to power the second switch and that new light that we're installing. So again, I want to do this without cutting drywall so that they don't have to patch anything. But I got to climb up in the attic now. I try to stay out of the attic. I try to avoid it like the plague. But in this case, I got no choice. So let's get going. Okay, I got a false reading on my stud finder, so when I poke the screwdriver through, there is no roof truss over there. So what I've decided to do is I can just use a flat pancake box to put in here. There's no backing anywhere over here. This is just a vapor barrier with insulation above it. But as long as I can put a block of wood across here and secure it, and the light that's going in here is not very heavy at all. It's a pretty lightweight light, so as long as I can put some backing to screw my pancake box into, and as long as the screws aren't exposed, I guess it'll be good. And then I can just poke the wire through here, run it inside the attic to approximately this location over here, and then go down. Okay, so I'm going to measure from this wall to my switch. I've got 19 inches, okay? So I think there's a stud right about here, and there's definitely a stud right over here. So I've got maybe this space right here to throw a wire down. So as long as I know that my switch is at 19 from the edge of that wall, as long as I can find, I'm going to find this wall here, I'm going to find this one right here, and then measure off 19 and drill a hole in the top plate and kind of just send my wire down to here. And so my wire doesn't fall back down, I'll just kind of make a bend in it. I'll kind of make a little bend like this. Put her up in here so it doesn't fall down. So just before I go up in the attic, I took off this switch just because I want to pull this box out. I want to cut this bigger so that it's easier to grab it when I come back. Once I have the wire in this wall, this hole is going to be here, I can grab it easier. And maybe when I'm pushing it down, it may actually go right into this hole. We'll see. So I took off the switch, kind of unspliced the wires here, loosened up, I guess, this right here, this bracket. Just gonna cut this bigger. one bad thing is this is an interior wall, but they decided to soundproof it a little bit by adding insulation here, so it's going to make it a little bit harder for me to push the wire in, but you know, hopefully there's no issues as long as I can kind of push it up against the drywall here and push it in. So I'll take off this screw, take the box off. It's held on by this screw right here. Pull this box out. All right. So these are my existing wires, and I'm just going to send down one more. So up into the attic we go. Okay, here's that attic hatch. It's about 20 feet away from, so where you can see that doorway, and just to the right of it, that's where the bathroom is that I need to work in. So kind of, I'm gonna have to go up in the ceiling through here and in this room here. So it's about 20 feet away, and I don't have a headlamp, so I'm gonna turn on my Milwaukee light over here, take it up in there with me, light up the space and do what I need to do. Now, I don't think I can crawl through this attic. I don't need to crawl, I mean, but I don't think I can go through this attic with the phone in my hand. So I'm gonna have to put the phone down and just kind of try to carry this light with me if I can. You know what I decided, since I went up in the attic, maybe I should mention proper attic etiquette. If you ever have to go up in an attic, now this is pretty tall, like I'm standing up straight right now. I do have to bend over in some areas, but how do you walk in an attic without falling through? Like you've seen some fail videos maybe. Thing is, you gotta step where these trusses are, okay? So I'm gonna step right here. I'm gonna step right over here, okay? You see where the truss goes? I'm gonna step right here. If you step here, you're always stepping on the truss and you're not gonna fall through the drywall ceiling, okay? I try to step in these V kind of shapes. Helps me to balance a little more. As long as you walk here, you shouldn't fall through the ceiling. Okay, I've put my light down. Here's that wire. This is the wire that I poked up through the ceiling from the bathroom below. And I know that my wall that I need to get to is approximately, I didn't measure, I just approximated about 5 feet this way. So from where the wire comes up, approximately 5 feet this way, I'm going to start clearing some of this insulation. And I'm going to try to find the wall that goes this way, and then find the wall that goes this way, measure 19 inches this way where my switch is, drill a hole through, and grab this wire over here, and just kind of pull it into there. So I'm going to put the phone down because it's difficult to do that with one hand, but I'll show you later. Okay guys, so I found the walls. So again, here's my wire coming up, okay, into the attic. I found that wall. This 2x6, this is a 2x6 running across this way. That's the wall where the vanity light is installed, and right over here is my 2x4 wall where the light switch is. So even this red wire that goes into that wall, this is my HRV low voltage wire. So this is the wall. So I'm going to measure 19 from about the edge of that. I'll find the center of the 2x6, measure about 19 inches this way. I'm going to drill a hole. I may even be able to use the same hole with this wire. See, it's already got this insulation, that spray kind of stuff. So maybe I'll just drill a new hole wherever 19 ends up being. And I'm going to grab my wire and stick it down there, approximately 6 feet of wire to get to about switch level. It'll actually give me more than I need, but hopefully I can do that, and I don't need to come back up here again. I mean, I may need to, once everything is done, I may come back up here just to kind of put all this insulation back, sort of, but hopefully I can do this as quickly as possible. One of the main reasons I hate coming up in the attic is, look at this. Look at all this insulation that's inside my tool bag now, my tool belt. I hate this. Here's my hole. So I measured 19. It's approximately 19, not exactly. I do have a little bit of wiggle room, so now I'm going to take this wire and basically I'm just going to send it down there, but because it's going to hit the insulation, I'm probably just going to I might try to kind of pre-bend it to make sure it's kind of going this way, so it's kind of hitting the edge of the wall instead of going right down the middle where the insulation is. So again, I'm going to put the phone down and try to do this two-handed. So the wire went in quite easily actually. I sent about 6 feet of wire down that hole, trying to angle it this way, okay? And like I said, it went in pretty easy, so I'm hoping it's where it needs to be. I do have that 2-gang box sized hole already cut out, so I can probably, put my hand inside and try to reach around, grab the wire. So I'm going to try not to come up to this attic anymore. So I'm just going to kind of fill this insulation back up how it needs to be, try to build it up to at least close to what it was originally before I came here and wrecked everything. So I'll do that. I'm going to get out of this attic and I'll see you back in the main floor of the house there. So as I'm making my way back out of this attic, I'm going to try to step in the exact same places that I stepped on to get in here, just to kind of disturb the least amount of insulation as possible. So as I'm kind of going back, I'm just going to, wherever I stepped, I'll just take some insulation, kind of move it towards there, just to kind of cover up, build up a little bit of that insulation again that I squished down with my feet walking on it. So I'll do this all the way back. Well, unfortunately, I'm back up in the attic. I sent the wire down. I went downstairs to locate it, and I tried with all my might. I could not reach that wire through the opening that I cut out with a drywall saw. There is some kind of a block down halfway down the wall. There's some kind of a block they put, so I'm assuming maybe my wire was hitting it. So what I've done this time, okay, is I took one of my fiberglass fish sticks here. I taped the end of the wire to it, and I'm going to push this in. I'm going to push this through the hole, and I'm going to try to angle it kind of towards the opposite side now. And the advantage to this is that this fiberglass fish stick will push through any insulation instead of getting caught up in it like maybe my wire did or something. So I should be able to go down there and find this fish stick down there, so send it through as much as possible. I don't know if it was hitting something or what's going on, but try to send as much of it through. Go back downstairs now. Okay, so I had a really tough time getting this, reaching this fiberglass stick. I think it actually ended up somewhere like right about over here. So I probably should have pushed in maybe an extra foot or so. But again, maybe it was just getting caught on something and wouldn't go down anymore. But I just with the tips of my fingers, I barely reached it and pulled it out. So here's my wire right now. Okay, I've got my wire. I'm going to pull out a little bit more, maybe a foot. I can screw in my double gang box over here, cut all these wires back in, and we'll have power. One of these is power. We'll have power for the existing lights and plus this new one that we put in. So now I want to install this 2-gang box right here, because this is not really like a retrofit box or whatever. So these tabs right over here, I'm just going to bang them in with a hammer or my lineman's pliers or whatever, just kind of bang them in so they're flat so that I can slide this box into this up against that stud over there, because otherwise right now I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'll bang these in. I'll probably straighten these out. I'm just going to push them forward so that they're flat like this flange over here, and they won't be in the way because this is actually supposed to be behind the drywall. So bend them forward, cut this opening a little bit bigger so that I can actually just pop the wires in and slide this box into place. It's not super easy to put these wires back in because they're already pre-bent and stuff from being terminated previously. to the switch, so it kind of got bends in them and everything, so it's a little bit more difficult, but you can do it. Okay, the wires are in. I'm just going to have to slide this box inside the wall. Okay. Secure this box again and make sure you push it a little bit deeper than the drywall is so that it doesn't stick out. All right. Put a second screw in just to make sure it doesn't doesn't move around, doesn't swivel. Okay, we'll secure these tabs inside the actual box. Keep the wires in place. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. So all of this will be covered by the wall plates. I typically get the wall plates that are a little bit oversized anyways, so this shouldn't be an issue with covering. And I'll just splice all these wires how they need to be. I'm not sure which one is the power now, this one or this one, so I'm gonna have to turn the circuit on and use my tester to check which one of these is the actual power coming in, and the other two are going to be switch legs. So this new wire will go to that new light that we're installing, and one of these existing switch legs is going to be for the existing light that was already installed. Okay, so I'm going to install this flat pancake box over here. I'm just going to make sure this opening is big enough. I think I might need to trim it a little more. Okay, so the box fits, but I need some backing, so I'm gonna put a piece of wood in there. I'm gonna slide a piece of wood. This is going to be the backing for my box. Okay, I'm going to secure my box to that piece of wood that I just put in. So this is our box. It's now secure. I can use a metal box in this case because I didn't have to cut that vapor barrier or anything. It's still all intact, and I'm on the interior side of it, so I can use that metal box. Okay, and look, we've got no damage anywhere. We did this without cutting any drywall and having to patch anything, so all we had to cut was just a space for this double box over here. So like I said, I'm gonna figure out which one's the power, which ones are my switch legs, and install those switches, and that's it. This is how you can fish in something, like add a switch, add a light, that kind of stuff. So okay, so the switches are installed. The light is installed. I don't have that glass cover yet because I think they're still painting the ceiling and stuff. So, but basically, this is our new light. This is the existing stuff that was installed. So, if you've ever wondered how an electrician would approach a little project like this, that's how a good electrician will try to avoid cutting holes in your drywall and everything, because then you're gonna pay hundreds of dollars for somebody to patch it up and fix it. So if possible, you got to try to do it with as little damage as possible. And as for me, I'm gonna have to go and get all of this insulation out of my tool belt.